Welcome to the Jamia Effect. Today we're talking about identity and access management, and we're going to go over the methodology of authentication, authorization, and accounting. If you're interested in topics such as information technology, cybersecurity, and self-improvement, then this channel is for you. So please don't hesitate to like and subscribe, and let's get right into the content. We're going to go over AAA and how it can be applied to your life. So, what exactly is identity and access management? It is a system that controls who can access what within an organization's system. Think of IAM as a system within a system. An account is created, and within that account, you're assigned a role. That role determines your permissions. Your permissions determine what you can see, access, or modify. For an example, in a company, an employee, a manager, and an administrator all log in, but they don't get the same level of access. So let's start with the first A, which is authentication. Authentication is the process of verifying your identity. This typically starts with your username and password, and from there you're prompted to do something else. And this something else could be something that you have, which is a one-time passcode that you could receive to your phone. It could be something you aren't, which is a fingerprint or a facial recognition, also known as biometrics. It could be somewhere you aren't. This is where you tell them your location. And this is methods of authenticating yourself to verify your identity. Now, how can you apply authentication to your life? Authenticity is proven by behavior. This is one element you should use to decide on how much access someone should get to your life. Does their words align with their actions? Are they consistent? Do they show up when things are inconvenient? All this determines the question, are they who they say they are? So the next A is authorization. And this is when you get access to a system. And your access is determined by your role in companies. So this can be an attack vector. So that is why the principle of least privilege should be applied. The principle of least privilege is when you give someone the necessary permissions to perform their job duties. Nothing more, nothing less. Now, we have an example here. For instance, when you're a new employee, you typically receive view access only. Think of it like an acquaintance. You're getting acquainted with the person, so you want to get to know them by talking with them in person. Let's say the new employee only gets view access because they're still learning the system, just like you're still learning that person. Then they graduate to being a trained employee. So now they get a little bit of additional access. They're able to get the access needed to perform their job duties. Let's say a sales representative is working in a CRM, and now they finally have the opportunity to type in companies and add their accounts. This is the same with a casual connection. You give them text access to you. So they've graduated from just only being able to see you to now having your phone number where they can text you. Now let's say this employee got promoted from a sales representative to a help desk analyst. Now their access is a little bit different. This is where they can change passwords and remote into systems. But in a trusted connection, they get voice and FaceTime access where they can interact with you in real time. Let's say this help desk analyst graduates to becoming an administrator. Now they have system access to where they can modify what goes on within the system. So they went from being able to add people to the CRM to now being in control of the CRM. They no longer have that same access they had in the beginning because of a terminology called separation of duties. You never want to give someone multiple role access because that goes against the principle of least privilege. When you give someone an ample amount of access to a system, that gives them the opportunity to abuse that access. And they say that employees are more of a threat than external attackers because they have direct access to a system. So to reduce that risk, the principle of least privilege and separation of duties is implemented. Now, accounting. Accounting is the process of logging actions within a system. This is very beneficial for troubleshooting and it's necessary for auditing. Now, how can accounting apply to your life? This is where you take observations in consideration for if this person is being authentic, and this can determine the type of access authorization you give them to your life. So if this person is consistent, they show up even when things are inconvenient, and their actions align with their words, you might give them inner circle access based on those attributes, based on your observations on how they show up in your life and how they show up in their own life. Accountability is data. Now, closing takeaways. Security protects systems, boundaries protect people, and AAA helps you do both. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you found this content edifying, make sure you like and subscribe. And if you would like to work with me, you can reach me at afronomiacyber@gmail.com, or you can check out my website where you can view my services, afronomiaservices.com. Thank you so much for tuning in. Love, peace, and happiness. Love, peace, and positivity.